Red Panda Anthem.
Ian, what's up?
Red Panda Anthem.
Red Panda, what's good?
Red Panda Anthem.
One of the biggest mistakes a person can make is shorting crypto. I know the market is falling apart, but if you short a stock, let's say, and you get a great trade and you maximize the trade and squeeze all of the juice out of the orange, what's the highest percentage return without margin you can earn if you short crypto? And then turn around and tell me what the 5-year or 10-year gain is of Bitcoin or Ethereum. Now, you have to be mindful for the Terra Lunas and 2016 Litecoins, right? Because there's a lot of change in that top 5 guard. And please be mindful. I said it before. Once you begin to peg something to the dollar and you're trying to position that as a safe asset, you're now competing against the mutual fund industry, the Federal Reserve, and most banks that provide safety. So now annuity companies, life insurance, you have a ton of competitors, right? Also, when we talked about before, when to know if a product or company is good to invest in, go look at some of the early episodes. And if you haven't watched every episode of Market Mondays, I'm being real with you, you don't want to be rich. If you don't have the time, so be it. But if I made you money, put yes in chat. It is going to substantially affect how much money you make in this market if you have not done it. The biggest thing I've said, especially with a new company with less than 20 years of data, is the character of the founder. First and foremost, because that sets the tone for how the company will operate. And did you know the brother who was behind Terra Luna had an earlier failed stablecoin project or experiment, let's say, that his Terra colleagues are now telling about? So while the idea is innovative, there is some value in it. The character of the founder is going to impact how the company does move. Please be mindful before you go put in your life savings into these projects of people that you cannot talk to, know, feel, touch, smell, shake their hand, interact with, talk to at InvestFest, that you'll never meet in real life. Please be careful. Please be careful, because this is not going to be the only big collapse. And for those of you who are like, hey, BlackRock or Citadel could have had involvement, true. There's other people in the crypto space who just fucking hated Terra Luna as well. So the attacks could have come from multiple places. This is why I tell you, when Apple and Google has a partnership, it is not necessary, but it's better to have them as an ally opposed to competitor. And Bitcoin not being classified as a currency or equity does help in its fight. But who lobbied for that? You got to learn the game side of the game. But I'll let Satoshi and Putin and Samsung and Toshiba and everybody else reveal the truth at a later date. I no longer choose to be in that business. But for those of you that are bashing crypto, I will say this: don't short it, or you're going to get your face kicked in. Let's review these stocks. So let's look at RETL. Retail bull 3 times. ETF, no, I wouldn't touch it. I would not touch this until it got to about, man, honestly, maybe $3.90. That is a no-go. And thank you to everyone who asked questions, who wanted to know about these. Uranium royalty, I do not love at this time. PLL. With a gap down like this, so a gap is when a price is here and it skips a bunch. This gap is going to be filled probably at like $90, but I don't like when stocks do this. Piedmont Lithium. Don't like it, don't like it, don't like it. Usually when a company gaps like this, it takes forever to go back up in its favor. 2020 helped a lot, helped give a push. Man, I will vote no for this. Global blockchain ETF, no, I would not touch right now. SOXL, I would not touch right now. Triple Qs, I would not touch right now until about 239 flat. Stock Club members, I'll give you the real price tonight, but no, I wouldn't touch it until it falls a little bit further. Historically, during a recession, how much does NASDAQ tend to fall? You should know that by now. Let's look at BSX, Boston Scientific. I do like. At $30, that's the area I will look to get it. Look at it. RSVR. Reservoir Medium. Nope. I would not touch it right now. JSTC. No, I wouldn't touch right now. Maybe if this ETF got to about maybe $9, I would get it, but no. Even though the cause, it's a social justice ETF, even though the cause is good, it doesn't mean that it's a good time to buy it. Carver Bank, I like it $5. I like it $5. $6 flat, I would touch it, but anything higher than that, I would not invest in. JKHY, still solid. I will wait to Stock Club members. I'll give you the price, but I'll wait to like 154 for JKHY, which is a Stock Club pick. SoFi. What makes you guys love SoFi so much? Because I get this one a lot. The answer is no. Maybe at please put this in chat. There's only 7 to 8 great companies internationally that you should be invested in. And here's how you know. Would you put your life and your entire family's lives on the line to invest in some of these other companies? The answer is no, I wouldn't do it. 28 to 482. If I had to give you a buy-in price, probably 555 is where I would wait to. When it got to 1315, if it stayed above that for 2 or 3 months, I will hold on to it. But the first time it got to 1315, I would have my finger on the sell trigger to get rid of it. CRBU. No. We want our stocks to look like we want our bank account to look like. We want it to go up and to the right. No. NTLA. Intellia Therapeutics, not bad, but anytime I see a stock go on a decline like this, it makes me afraid. So unless they have a management change or have a life-changing technology that comes in their possession, no, I would not touch it. CRISPR, I said it before, great technology, stock is overrated for the time being. Let's look at edit. Do you guys realize, think of it like this. Is it easier for me, let's say I average 25 points, 8 assists, 9 rebounds. I'm really padding my stats, right? And 4 steals, right? Would it be easier for me, Nick Saban, you did some sucker shit too with Dion. Shout out to Dion. Would it be easier for me to go to the NBA if I had those stats at Duke or at Morehouse? Same stats, but on ESPN, the spiel would be, well, he did that at a less competitive conference. So yes, great stat line, but could he do that against tier 1 talent, right? Same thing with stocks. Until BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street get behind some of these companies, and I've said it before, if Vanguard and BlackRock both, and I want to be real clear, might clip this up in my beautiful hand writing. I want Vanguard and BlackRock to own both, to own the stock that I'm looking at. So imagine if I average 25, 10, and 10 at Duke, and then I transfer to UNC and I average 29, 11, and 11. Am I going to be a top 2 or 3 draft pick? The answer, absolutely yes. That's how I look at the market. So I like this company, right? I think the premise of the company could be good, but they haven't done anything yet, and it's reflective in the stock. And then I'll always go and see, okay, great. Are the big institutions owning them? Then I'll go to Buffett, Michael Burry, which he's been right about a hell of a lot about this upcoming crash and the crash that we're in. I'll go look and see what those players say. What does Carl Icahn say? What does Buffett say? It makes me really happy to see that I was early to the Apple position before Buffett was, and then he added to. That's a zone of safety. Please put in chat, who buys the stocks gives you safety. So you can have a great pick, but if the right people are not behind them, it won't go in your favor. Ulta, I like in the 250 area. IIPR we've talked about before. It's come down a bit. I like IIPR like at $89. Stock Club members, if you want the price, I can give it to you on a call tonight or post tomorrow. CGW, I still like for sure. Let's look at GM. GM, I don't love. Of course, cheaper than Tesla. I'll look at Tesla real quick. If I had to pick between one or the two, I would definitely lean on Tesla. GM will be second. There aren't a lot of car companies just in general that I love outright. EVGO. No, I will not touch right now. HLT. Excuse me, HLT. Hilton Worldwide. Not bad, don't love it. Let's look at BN in comparison. And when I'm telling you guys to look at every Class A shares of Airbnb, I like Hilton better than Airbnb, however. I will say that. Once again, be agnostic about the stock that you're invested in. I think Airbnb is a better idea and premise than Hilton, for sure. But the execution is something else. Uber, if you look, same thing. Some trouble there. Uber has a very good chance of sliding down to like $16.65. Please be careful if you are looking to make a new investment into it. ExxonMobil, I've said it before, energy takes off during a recession. You guys can see why I was pre-made right because of this handwriting. Goes up during a recession. And if we zoom out and let's go back 20 years, 2008, you can see 2008, the price was $117. And my God, we're getting pretty damn close. And this is a way to tell if we are in a true recession environment. The more that oil goes up is more reflective of if we are in a recession or not. And we're not that far off. Going back to crude, if we look at crude future, when crude went, this price actually went negative for that contract month. When it went negative, look how much it went up. Crude looks like ARC pre-disaster, right? I mean, we went from $6.50 instead of $110 right now, 2008. Let me just show you. So that when I was at a movie, I forgot what movie I was watching. This is like in 2016. And then I went back and I started looking further out at assets. That's when I got my edge. So for those of you who lived in 2008, and I remember I was in Atlanta driving from Midtown going to Alpharetta or in Norcross, and gas was on fire, right? And I was working, doing stuff in the marketing in the mortgage industry. And I remember how expensive it was. That's when I got my full understanding of how the supply chain of products works to Wall Street. And they were shipping off subprime loans. And I'm like, where the loans going to? And they're like, Wall Street. I'm like, for what? I had no clue. He was like, we sell them to them. I'm like, for what? They're like, for profit. The subprime housing market, loan market is starting to pop again.
This that Red Panda Anthem. Ian, what's up? This that Red Panda Anthem. Red Panda, what's good? Red Panda Anthem. Your boy going up. I know they can't stand it.